This video will focus on features in cnMaestro X that are especially useful to our MSP customers. Please note that I have listed the features covered in this demo and the time that they appear in the video so that you can fast forward to a particular feature if you wish to review it at a later date. cnMaestro X is an enterprise class management system for Cambium Network's entire product line. cnMaestro X is available in a cloud-based version and an on-premises version delivered in an OVA file format. In a single pane of glass, you have visibility into the entire Cambium Network product line. From the enterprise class edge of the network Layer 2, Layer 3 PoE and non-PoE switches, and the access layer indoor and outdoor access points, and including the long-range point-to-point backhaul tower products and the distribution layer point-to-multipoint products. This video will provide an overview of the managed services platform available in cnMaestro X. cnMaestro X allows you to manage the complete lifecycle of Cambium devices. The interface is intuitive and easy to use, allowing for faster times to productivity. cnMaestro X offers an MSP Dashboard, providing up to 500 independent domains with branded login pages and assigned administrators. It also provides for easy onboarding of products with zero-touch and auto-provisioning. The system offers a robust set of troubleshooting tools, including remote CLI access into APs and switches, packet capture file capabilities, and a spectrum analyzer. cnMaestro X offers APIs and webhooks, providing integration into third-party applications such as Slack, Datadog, and many others. MSPs providing Wi-Fi service for apartments, hotels, dorm rooms, businesses, schools, and many other types of customers will quickly realize the benefits of the MSP platform in cnMaestro X. It starts with the MSP Dashboard. An MSP can create and manage up to 500 independent networks, all from a single pane of glass. A customer network or tenant network is an independent network with configuration profiles in the AP groups and switch groups, which will manage the configuration of the access points and switches. Creating a new network and assigning devices is quick and easy, allowing you to realize a faster return on your Wi-Fi investment. A network is created with a managed service and a managed account. The managed service page allows you to create a web-based login page and integrate the customer's logos and pictures into a custom branded login page. The managed account allows you to create user accounts for this network. This could be one of your engineers, or the login account could be for a customer, giving him visibility into his Wi-Fi network. The new network is accessible in the cnMaestro network hierarchical tree. This is a tree view of all your active networks. At the top of the network tree is the system level network, and all other tenant networks will fall under the system network. The network will contain towers for fixed wireless devices and sites for devices such as switches and access points. When you select a network, the dashboard gives you a view into the health and activity of that network. You also have access to the notifications, configuration page, statistics, reports, software versions, review and drill down into clients connected to the network, and we also have data for offline clients for the past 7 days, and you can review mesh peer network statistics. The dashboard is contextual. When you select a site, the dashboard and other pages change context to focus on the devices in that site. When you select a device, The dashboard and other pages change context to focus only on that device. Let's take a look at one of the many ways to onboard new products into cnMaestro X. Auto-provisioning in cnMaestro X allows the system to automatically configure and approve newly added devices. Custom configurations are based on the device IP address. When a new device reaches out to cnMaestro X for the first time, cnMaestro X looks at the device IP address, and if that IP address falls within a certain range, cnMaestro X will apply the appropriate auto-provisioning rules to that device. The device will be placed in the configured managed account, network, and site. Also, the device gets placed in the appropriate AP group where it will receive its configuration. cnMaestro X provides enhanced guest access portal capabilities, allowing you to provide custom guest access portals for your different accounts. The guest access portals can be free access portals, or they can require payment for access to the Wi-Fi network, or they can be voucher-based access portals. The system supports a maximum of 500 different access portals and a maximum of 10,000 guest sessions. Creating a custom access portal and splash page is very easy in cnMaestro X. When creating a new access portal or editing an existing access portal, you will see 4 areas available to configure and manage the portal. You will have flexibility in the type of portal you want to create. The access page allows you to create and configure free portals, paid gateway portals, and voucher-based portals. If you choose a paid gateway access portal, notice that you have several paid gateway services to choose from, including PayPal, iPay, and several others. The splash page allows you to create and customize the portal landing page. You can start off with any of our 4 templates and customize the page to your requirements. You will be able to import the company logo, a custom background, and apply your custom message. After guests have started to use the portal, you can view client session information on the Sessions page, or you can run a report with client guest access login events. EPSKs are unique passwords assigned by the administrator for devices connecting to the Wi-Fi network. cnMaestro allows you to create and manage up to 2,000 ePSKs, which can then be exported into a CSV file format. Or if your clients are authenticating using a Radius server, then you can manage an unlimited number of ePSKs. Administrators can use enterprise pre-shared keys as another method of controlling access to the Wi-Fi network. In cnMaestro X, the administrator can choose between local mode or radius mode. Local mode is where the ePSK is generated in cnMaestro, and radius will utilize the local radius server for authentication. If using local mode, the administrator can choose between system-generated passwords with a password strength of easy, strong, or number. Using this method, he can generate ePSKs individually, create multiple ePSKs in bulk, or import a custom list of ePSKs. He can also assign a VLAN the device will be placed in when successfully connecting to the network using this ePSK. The system will generate the ePSKs and you're ready to export them to a CSV file. Another option for the administrator is to import his custom list of users, passwords, and VLANs. It's very easy to create the custom list in a CSV file format by downloading the sample file and then filling it out with the names and passwords and importing it back into cnMaestro. cnMaestro incorporates several security measures designed to add layers of security around your network. When configuring an AP group, an administrator can go to the security page and configure protection against denial of service attacks such as IP spoofing, Smurf attacks, ICMP fragment attacks, and cnMaestro will generate a log of all detected attacks. An administrator can also enable detection of association, authentication, deauthentication, disassociation, and EAP attacks. He can also review security events by selecting a site in the network tree and going to the WIDS page. On the WIDS page, he can also review events for rogue APs, honeypot APs, and known APs. Now that we've configured the APs, a guest access portal, and ePSKs, let's configure the switches. In most cases, you will configure and manage the switches using a switch group. Switch groups are very much like AP groups in that they are the configuration golden template for Cambium devices, in this case, cnMatrix switches. You can manage hundreds or thousands of switches very easily with cnMaestro switch groups. You will configure basic settings, network settings, and policy-based automation in the switch group. You will configure the switch group with contact information, admin and guest login credentials, a time zone, DNS server addresses, VLANs, and you'll configure policy-based automation. VLANs can be configured in several ways. They can be manually configured in a switch group or using auto-attach. Auto-attach is where a VLAN is automatically configured based on a policy-based automation action. Or a VLAN can be configured using AutoVLAN. AutoVLAN is where the VLAN is automatically configured in the switch when the VLAN is configured in an AP group. Policy-based automation allows you to configure your switch port configurations automatically. A PBA policy will identify devices that come onto the network, and if certain criteria are matched, the port will be configured automatically with a configuration you have put together. PBA policies are made of three components: rules, actions, and policies. Rules specify the identification criteria used in this policy. When selecting a type of identification criteria, you have several options. Devices will use a protocol, LLDP, to exchange identification information with other devices on the network. So when a device is plugged in, it starts sending this LLDP information, and the switch reads this information and will identify the device. You can also use MAC address information as the detection criteria. In this case, we'll select the identification criteria as LLDP any, meaning we'll look for any LLDP information, and the device data we will be looking for is camera. Actions are the steps taken after a device has been identified. This is where you configure the port template. Set the switch port mode, add the VLANs and the native VLAN, and configure any of these other options, including PoE priority, which will ensure this device does not lose power if the switch PoE budget gets oversubscribed. So we have a rule which profiles and identifies the device and puts it in a class, and we have an action which will configure the port after the device has been identified. Policies stitch together the rules and the actions. In this case, we're saying if we see a camera, we will configure the port with the settings that we just configured. Now, with this policy in place, every time a camera is plugged into any one of the switch ports, the port will automatically be configured with these settings. And another powerful feature of PBA is that once a device has been disconnected from the switch port will automatically be reset back to its previous configuration. Another benefit cnMaestro X offers when using a combination of cnMatrix switches and Cambium enterprise access points is an Auto VLAN configuration feature. Auto VLAN in cnMatrix switches detects when an enterprise access point has been plugged into one of the switch ports. The access point will report all configured VLANs to the cnMatrix switch, and those VLANs will automatically be configured on the cnMatrix switch port. When you go to the cnMatrix switch in the network tree and click on the switch port that the access point is plugged into, go to the Details section of the dashboard. A port that has been auto-configured by AutoVLAN has a description that consists of the string #Cambium auto and the port. Also, ports that have been auto-configured will display an asterisk in the port's VLAN membership. Now that the network, including access points and switches, has been configured, you will start to manage the network and monitor the performance of both network and client devices. cnMaestro X includes a client dashboard, an application page, and a performance page, giving you visibility into the client activity and the quality of experience, and is also great to troubleshoot client device issues. cnMaestro X collects and displays health and performance statistics on network and client devices. Information for both online and offline clients will be available for 7 days. The contextual dashboard changes scope and will focus on the information for the level in the network you are reviewing. When you go to the Clients page and select a client, you are directed to the Client dashboard. Notice the other pages of client information, the Applications and Performance pages. The Client dashboard provides information on the client device, information on the AP it is connected to, the applications the client is using, bandwidth history, roaming history, and performance metrics such as RSSI and signal-to-noise ratios. On the client history chart, hover your mouse over any of the data points to reveal uplink and downlink data rates at that particular point in time. The Applications page has a pie chart representing how much of the total bandwidth each application is using. The chart on the right shows you when the application activity occurred. Click on a different application in the pie chart and notice how the chart on the right changes to reflect the times and usage for that application. The table at the bottom shows the details of the applications, including uplink and downlink bandwidth usage, a productivity index, and a risk index. The Performance page shows different performance metrics such as RSSI, signal-to-noise ratio, data rates, throughput, and application throughput. Hover your mouse over any parts of the graphs to get the data for each of the graphs for that particular point in time. Once again, information for both online and offline clients will be available for 7 days. Click and drag your mouse over any of the charts to zoom in to that time period. And notice how the other charts zoom in to correspond to the time period you just selected. So far, we've configured the APs and switches with AP groups and switch groups. Client devices have been connecting to and using the network. Now you're getting calls from end users reporting poor Wi-Fi performance in a certain area of the building or even at a remote site. Whether you're managing a small, medium, or large network, cnMaestro X provides a robust set of troubleshooting tools, allowing you to diagnose issues with enterprise access points, cnMatrix switches, and client devices. Engineers will appreciate the complete set of tools they have access to when troubleshooting these access points, switches, and client devices. The dashboard gives us a snapshot of the number of access points and switches deployed in the site. When you are drilling into a device to review performance and health statistics, the dashboard context changes to focus on only that device. Now let's say the help desk gets another call reporting poor network performance. This time the engineer suspects that it might be a switch causing the issue. The dashboard has details about the switch and individual switch ports. A red port indicates there is nothing connected to the port. A green port indicates a port with a connected device, and a green port with a little blue lightning bolt indicates that port is delivering PoE power to the connected device. You can hover your mouse over any of the switch ports to reveal a pop-up window with status and configuration of that port. In this case, an XV2 access point is connected to this port. Clicking on the port will change the dashboard context to reveal details about that port. Clicking on Actions will provide more configuration and troubleshooting options. Oftentimes, a device that is having issues only needs to be rebooted. Toggle the PoE on that port to reboot devices remotely. If the reboot does not solve the device issues, you might want to further investigate the switch port. Selecting port operations will bring up a switch troubleshooting page. By selecting the port, you will have access to several troubleshooting tools. If you run a cable diagnostic, you are testing the physical layer, the actual cable. If a fault is found, the system will indicate the distance in meters the fault is occurring on the cable. You can also enable and disable a port, and you can enable and disable the PoE power on a port, and you can just toggle the PoE power on a port. Let's say that you're getting reports that an access point appears to be having issues and you suspect the switch. You want to review the switch port information but do not know which port the access point is connected to. You can use the remote access into the switch CLI and run the switch OS command show LLDP neighbor detail. This command will provide a list of the devices connected to the switch ports along with a lot of information about the switch port, including the connected device information. Make note of the device connected to local interface 9. This is the XV2 that is misbehaving on the network. You can locate that device in the network tree and click on it to access the device dashboard. This illustrates the power you have in the dashboard when troubleshooting devices. On the Tools page, you can take a snapshot of the device configuration, activity, connected devices, and RF environment by creating a tech support file. Pretty much everything you need to investigate and debug the issue. You can use the support file to debug the issue yourself, or you can open a support ticket with our engineers and send them the support file before they even ask for it. Also on the Tools page, you have remote access into the AP CLI. You can create a packet capture file on the Ethernet port, the wireless LAN, a VLAN, or an SSID. The output file format is a PCAP file. The Wi-Fi analyzer will analyze the RF environment around an access point. The access point will scan the RF environment in the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands. Results of the scan are shown in the graph at the top of the page and a table showing the SSIDs, channels, and signal-to-noise ratios. cnMaestro X includes support for the use of RESTful APIs to further enhance the capabilities and effectiveness of the management system. cnMaestro X provides a RESTful API interface so that your third-party app can interact with the management system to post, retrieve, remove, and view data. cnMaestro X provides webhooks. Webhooks deliver real-time streaming for alarms using a push notification model. They provide a bridge between cnMaestro X and third-party applications such as Slack, Twilio, Datadog, and many, many more. In this example, I have created a webhook into Slack to retrieve notifications from cnMaestro X as they are generated in real time. Okay, this concludes this tutorial on how to demo cnMaestro X for MSPs. Thank you for your time and have a great day.